Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Airbus A320neo in Austrian colours on a flight here in Birmingham to Innsbruck. So, flight time is just shy of 2 hours today. Get a fair bit of cruise today, and as it stands, weather not too bad here in Birmingham, but as we get closer to Austria, things should start to get a little bit more turbulent for us. So, fingers crossed, should be a decent flight today, but we'll see how the weather changes, we'll see how things go as our journey continues. Let's jump in the cockpit and let's start preparing our flights for, aircraft flight today. Batteries active, nav set, external power sets, fuel pumps not yet, wait for the fuel truck to arrive. Set the heaters to about medium. There we go. Cruise flight active, arm lights, seatbelts automatic. Flag lights on, automatic strobes, and that should be that for the overhead. Down to the main console, let's have brightness of displays. So go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for each. And same for the FMSs. Right, that all looks like it's ready to go. Down to the FMS. Program hour. Fuel truck, thank you very much. Right, fuel required is 16033 today. 16033. So we go for that 55% I'd say. That'll do. Close you, overhead panel, fuel pumps on. Right, let's go to 1 second. Let's go to initialization, select on departures, Echo Golf Bravo Bravo to Lima Oscar Whiskey India. Plug that in. Flight number today is Oscar Sierra 2576. Cost next day is 22. With cruising altitude of flights level 370. It's quite a high cruise today. Always nice to have. IRS on reference and line. Next page. Zero fuel weight is 49.3. Center of gravity is 21.1. And our block force today is 7.3. Stats. Turn the brightness of the backup indicator here. So turn the brightness of the autopilot panel, and let's now introduce our passengers. So start the flights, let it all load. So Birmingham to Innsbruck, Austrian 2576, 37,000 feet, 1 hour, say 1 hour 40 block time. Takeoff will be in about 23 minutes time to finish this. Flying an A320neo. With 174 people on board. We do have Wi-Fi, I believe. We have not got entertainment. We have got boarding music. We have got safety briefing. We do get a snack service, and I do believe we get a meal service as well. And with that, we can now start the flights. So patch up all the aircrafts, and we've got a few minutes till we mission starts. See the baggage is almost completed. Back to the MCDU. Let's look on our flight plan today. So starting with Airways, we fly to Admex. After Admex, we fly to Maddox. Followed by Cock. Followed by Dick. Give it a few seconds. Dick, so slow as always. Well, after Dick, it's Utaba. There we go, took its time. Slow and steady, wins the race. After Dick, we fly to Utaba. After Utaba, we fly to Momuk. After Momuk, we fly to Madeb. Insert that. And that's our flight complete. Registration code, we are Oscar Echo, Lima, Bravo, Uniform. Not doing too bad today. It's now Friday, it's the end of the week. Always good to have. Right, performance, we will do that in a moment, I think. Look at that now, shall we? Okay, so flaps 1 for takeoff. Flex temp is 71, and our V speeds 125 rotate. Transition altitude 6,000 at Birmingham region. Thoughts on the fire test startup? We can do it, I believe. Yeah, I'll say, as the A320 gets further into development, the better it gets. Ultimately, the more features of it that I'm now forgetting, because there is just so much to do. So, yeah, it's just... it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Let's also go through the video there, so we can now view the galley as well. This aircraft's doing so much, the A320X, it's fantastic. Right, predictive windshield automatic, Tara set automatic, that's all fine, lock cockpit door. We are flying with IVAO today. Ooh, Heathrow North, let me check. They're covering my area today. I use a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. This is the dev version, the A320neo. No, okay, so there's no ATC in my area today, but we may get someone of Continental Europe, because right now IVAO's looking very active throughout our journey, so throughout France we'll get it, throughout Switzerland, and also approaching... okay, so yeah, we've got very good ATC coverage today, once we cross the channel. So fingers crossed they'll stay online. I'm fairly sure they will. Right, FMS, sorry, IRS lines in 2 minutes. That's all fine. Get the local METAR information for Birmingham. Bravo, Bravo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to
so, 4 knot wind 20.
When you find your seat, please
8 degrees, dew point 4, QNH 1008, otherwise clouds and visibility, okay.
Front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place
So
all of your items in the
1008.
overhead bin.
No ATC, so I'll start climbing initially to 370
Let the flight attendant know and we would be
at
happy
a
to
rate
assist
of
you.
3,500 feet per minute.
Please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
Speed 2 knots below
Please double
10,000.
check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear
Flight
and other
director on
passengers
and
can make their way
on.
to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row,
With that,
please leave
our
exit
aircraft's
seating
now
responsibilities
set
in the
and
card
complete.
and seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply
Got in the
with
across, so
these
you got some
actions,
come
please
on.
let the flight attendant know so that way you can be received. Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once you depart from the gate, you put away
So
any
departure
laptops
information
or
for issue that
tablets.
as well. So
Thank
departing
you and
runway
welcome aboard.
33 via the Adme 1 Delta departure. Perfect, so aircraft set up. We're now ready to disappear. Downloading IVAO should not affect your sim to not start up. That doesn't sound like an IVAO issue, I'm afraid. Sounds like you've maybe gone and changed something you shouldn't have, Jarmo. accidents can happen during the flights. Depends what your failure settings are set to. For mine, set to realistic, so they don't happen very often, but I haven't had a complete clean history. If you go to my Cessna flights to the Isle of Wight, that was a good example of something going wrong. Right, quick check of the flight plan, make sure everything is set correctly, and while we do that, let's start up the APU. You're also enjoying the classical music. That's the Austrian Airlines boarding music playlist. If the flight plan looks correct to me, that will do. Back to arc. We'll zoom out slightly on the display there. That's all set, that's all set, that's all set, that's all set. So at this stage, we're now starting the APU, we'll get power into the aircraft, and then it's down to the passengers to board the aircraft. Looks like we're mostly full now, a few empty seats here and there. It shouldn't take too long for these people to board. Let's have a look at the passengers, shall we? Any names that we spot, aka Jared. I thought it said Theresa May for a second. No, it's Terence May. Nope, relatively normal names. Nobody stands out. Cool. Right, well, back in, passengers are boarding. APU is starting. Has anyone been on playing boarding music? I've been on plenty of aircraft boarding music. Ryanair often do it. EasyJet often do it. British Airways, I believe they've got boarding music. I'll need to double check. That's my flyer. Yeah, a lot of airlines do have boarding music. Right, APU I believe is now available, is it? Yes it is. So, powering the aircraft. Give it a few seconds. External power disconnects. I've not had too many pitch issues in the A320. So that aircraft seems to be working rather fine for me at the very least. As well, might as well say hello to passengers, shall we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A message from the flight deck. We're just in the final stage of boarding the aircraft now, and hopefully in a couple of minutes, pushing back and making our way to the runway. Departing runway 33 today, so not a very long taxi until in the air, and hopefully should be rather steady flights. A little bit of turbulence here and there, expecting as we get closer to Austria, but for the most part, we should be nice and safe. Any questions, please cabin crew today. As always, hope you sit back, relax, enjoy a flight with us on Austrian. Go. Alright, public address, general. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A message from the flight deck. We're just in the final stage of boarding the aircraft now, and hopefully in a couple of minutes, pushing back and making our way to the runway. Departing runway 33 today, so not a very long taxi until in the air, and hopefully should be rather steady flights. A little bit of turbulence here and there, expecting as we. So while the passengers do that, out in Birmingham, I have stayed in 2 hotels not too far from here. Let's see if we try and spot them. Oh, there's a train station. So, took the train thing here. That's the terminal. Outside. So, one hotel was an Ibis, which was... I think it was about here, I believe. Yeah, no, I was looking at the wrong way. So, yeah, I have one one time, stayed at an Ibis hotel with a view out the runway like that, kind of. And then the other time I was here, I was staying at the end of the runway, where the motorway is. There's a train line, that's the town. I believe that's it. It's smaller in real life, but yeah, it's about here where I was staying, although my view on that occasion was out of the motorway. So unfortunately missed out on the airport view the first time, but the second time I did manage to get a nice view out here. And both those occasions I was with Dovetail Games at the not EGX, sorry. Oh, jet bridge moving away, damage boarding complete. Both occasions was with Worley, that's it, Worley National Railway Exhibition, where I teamed up with Dovetail Games to help promote Train Sim World. Right, into the cockpits. Passengers have boarded, I believe. Yes, they have. At this stage, quick final checks, so all systems set, all systems live, FMS set, aircraft systems set, we'll set E2 ignition start. AP is running, AP is active, we'll turn on the beacon lights, and we will now push back from the gates. So shift P, caution pushback tug. Nose turns left, so request turns to the right. And then, well, taxi to the runway and depart. No, Austrian do not have any A320neos in real life, and I don't think they've ordered any either, so I guess it's the one inaccuracy of the stream where flying Neo is supposed to be the CEO, but at the end of the day, quite limited what you can do when you only have got the Neo. Right, parking brake released, engine 1 starts. Nose to the... sorry, nose left, so turn right.
Please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
Push back, stop. Morning streams, we shall see. I'll see what the weekend is like when it comes to planning everything.
Your hand luggage must be placed in the overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. Passengers seated in the first row or at emergency exits are requested to stow their hand luggage in the overhead bins only.
Right, engine 1 active and stable, engine 2 starts.
Be careful when opening the overhead bins as items might fall out. For reasons of flight safety, it is forbidden to use any electronically operated equipment during takeoff and landing. Moreover, devices such as television receivers or walkie-talkies may not be used during the entire flight. Please make sure that your mobile telephone is switched off while you're on board.
Last YouTube flights and collab, who with George? And group flights I'm doing all the time, just keeping out when I do make the next announcement for that.
Your infants with the intercount, which will be distributed by
Right,
your
stick with
cabin
flight
crew.
systems check. All hydraulics are now live.
Make sure that the back of your seat is in the fully upright position and your table is folded away for
Elevators
takeoff
active.
and landing.
Ailerons active.
If your seat is equipped with a leg
Rudder
rest, an in-seat video
active.
monitor or a handset, please stow them in the
Spoilers
original position.
active. Right, back to engine.
Non-smoking
Spoilers
flight,
armed.
non-smoking sign
Flaps
will
down
remain
1.
illuminated during the entire flight. It is strictly forbidden to smoke in the lavatory. Smoking in the lavatories may activate an alarm. In case of loss of cabin
Stands
pressure,
2-6 here
oxygen
at
masks
Birmingham.
are automatically released. Pull down the nearest mask, place it over mouth and nose, and secure it with the elastic band. For an emergency landing, tighten your seatbelt.
Right, so both engines started active, so turn off the ignition, turn off the APU, tax lights on, parking brake released, and let's make our way now to runway 33.
Leave the aircraft aircraft via the evacuation slides. The slides will be used as ramps when landing on water. The life vest is located either under your seat or under the center armrest between the seats. In the event
Right,
of
pre-takeoff
water landing, place
checklist.
the life vest over
So
your
brake
head.
sets to
Fasten the
max.
strap at the front and pull it tight.
Takeoff config
When
check.
leaving the aircraft, inflate the life
Cabin
vest by
check.
pulling the red
And so
tab.
that's our pre-takeoff checklist complete. All that we're left to do is alert the cabin crew for departure.
If necessary, the life vest can be inflated by pulling through these tubes. Infant life vests will be distributed if required. The safety instructions.
Can't download traffic per se, but mods like IVAO do include full model matching with their online networks. So, almost at the runway. It's a very short taxi here at Birmingham, especially from runway 33. We'll hold short, do a quick visual, announce our departure intentions, and then make our way over to, well, next stop, Innsbruck.
Achten Sie besonders darauf, dass Mobiltelefone während des gesamten Aufenthalts an Bord ausgeschaltet sind.
I just answered you, Jarmo. Pay attention next time. Sorry, not Jarmo, sorry. I'm glad I did answer you as well, Jarmo. It's not my valid issue, that. Sounds like you've messed something up, but, JP, I said gate 26. Let's hold short of the runway. Do a quick visual check, make sure the runway is clear. Left is clear. Right is clear. We'll announce an IVAO that we're going to depart. Right. And lights set. Throttle up, and let's get going. Cabin crew, please proceed for departure. Hopefully the safety briefing finishes before we depart. You can see from the windsock ahead of us, relatively strong winds at the moment, so we'll be very careful with that. Yes, there is an A320 currently in development for Microsoft Flight Sim, so a project I'm definitely following quite closely. Right. We'll hold it back for a few seconds while the safety briefing completes. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. And as soon as it does, throttle up, and onwards we go. Oh yes, chrono clock, and anti-ice. Can't forget that. There we go, safe briefing complete. Throttle up 50. Onto stable, up to flex. Knots. Reporting. Gee, what happened there? What happens there? We didn't quite hit a V1, so plenty of distance to slow down. Whew, okay. Hot brakes, fair enough. There's no brake fan on this, so I'll have to let the brakes go down naturally. We'll turn around. We'll try that again. From the moment I started that run, it just did not feel right. There you go, it's enough points ahead of us now. Yeah, that did, oh no, it just felt... It felt off. Felt off. Even the aircraft started veering to the left. Did not like that. We announce, Echo off Bravo Bravo. Take off. Aborted. We'll try the other runway. So 3-3 didn't quite like. We'll do 1-5. About the same departure. Do we have the same departure? I don't know actually. Admin, no we don't. Okay, Charlie Papa Tango I believe will work for us. Yeah, we're going to try runway 15 this time. Yeah, satisfaction has dropped slightly, down to 96%. But, well, let's do an announcement, shall we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, a quick announcement from the flight deck. Apologies at takeoff run, things were not quite right with the winds. Going to try from the other direction this time, so we should get a bit more of a grip to the ground. And this time, we should make it to the air. So again, apologies for that slight delay there, apologies for the abrupt pause. But we will try a second time, and this time, fingers crossed, should work for us quite nicely. So we'll announce that as a delay of rejected takeoff, length very short, no more than 10 minutes. Quick announcement from flight deck. Apologies at takeoff run, things were not quite right with the winds. Going to try from the other direction this time, so we should get a bit more of a grip to the ground. This time we should make it to the air. So again, apologies for that slight delay there, apologies for the abrupt pause. But we'll try a second time, and this time fingers crossed should work for us quite nicely. Right, so we're slightly changing our flight plan now. We're going to use Charlie Papa Tango departure for heading to Maddox. That should get a slightly better run. Thank you, Josh, for £5. Live videos, getting EP soon 3080. Very nice indeed, very nice. And yes, welcome to stream, how are you doing today? So, apart from the brakes being hot, with no brake fan in existence to cool that down, right, we can check the brake temperatures, can't we? Let's go to wheel. There you go. It's 400 degrees centigrade up there. Well, the whole short runway will allow it to cool down slightly. And then we'll do a second takeoff run. So hold shorts. It's 305. Okay, let's go contacts them. 118-305. Thank you, Josh, for becoming a sponsor. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Right, let's contact Tower. Let's say hello. Good evening, Birmingham Tower. This is Austrian 2576, holding short runway 15. Gonna pause for a few seconds if you don't mind. Just had a rejected takeoff, allowing the brakes to cool down for a moment.
Austrian 2576, roger. Please squawk mode standby.
So just waiting for the it's the brake on gear 2 that's heated. The rest of them are alright. It's just that one waiting to cool down. Hopefully it won't take us too long to wait. So we'll do a quick step again. So max takeoff, spoilers armed. Margins all set, that's all fine. Yes, it's just that one wheel right there. Wheel number 2, that's a bit hot at the moment. I mean, they're all pretty hot right now, up to 400 odd degrees centigrade. Go to wheels, yeah. 370, 375, 375, 365. Brake pressure's fine. Yeah, brake pressure's fine, wheels are fine. It's just the temperature waits to cool down. I've had a few I've not had a few reject takeoffs. I think I've had about, I think this is my 3rd or 4th rejected takeoff. Right, we'll taxi into position and we'll see how it goes. Austrian 2576. We should now be ready to go. Requesting departure.
Austrian 2576, you're clear for takeoff runway 15. Winds are 190 degrees at 06 knots.
Clear for takeoff, Austrian 2576. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. Let's try that again, shall we?
Birmingham Airport, speedboat 6 Papa Kilo, now in the air. Request, is there any chance to land on that quickly?
Let's try again, shall we?
Yeah, the brakes are calling. Still a bit on the hot side, but shouldn't cause us too much distress if we need to go again.
Bird 33, please use it again.
Speedboat 6 Papa Kilo in approach to Birmingham. Is there any chance to land on runway 3, please?
Yeah, I'd advise against landing runway 33. Our
Bird
takeoff
6
shows
Kilo,
that.
Negative, active runway is 15.
Okay,
Right,
thank you.
1 and 2
See you,
stable. Up to flex. Yeah, some aircraft have brake calling features, although this one does not. 80 knots. V1. Rotates. There we go. Got there in the end. 20 knot crosswind in that, so the wind's definitely pushing the aircraft to the side. But definitely a better takeoff run that time. Stick shaker. There is no stick shaker in the A320.
Austrian 2576, squawk mode Charlie.
Oops. Yes, can't forget. Right, it's down to 10 degrees. Throttle up to climb power. Flaps up. 1. Well, flaps up. Using IVAO for 8C. Using IVAO.
Austrian 2576, frequency change approved, squawk conspicuity.
Frequency change approved. Call continuity for Austrian at 2576. Thank you very much. A little bit turbulence now, getting a little bit bumpy. We'll set your pilot up now, and we'll let that do all the hard work. So speed up to 50 knots, 37,000 feet, 3,500 feet per minute. That will do us quite nicely. Right, spoilers, clear up. 6,000, standard altimeter sets. Tune 122.8 for Unicom. The last thing for me to do is to turn off the landing lights at 10,000. Yes, PACX will be a little bit lower in regards to satisfaction because the delayed departure generally not great. I mean, our original takeoff run wasn't exactly great, so yeah. I'm sure there's a bit of adrenaline running in the cockpit, in the cabin right now. But apart from that, things look alright. Ah, we got a raid, do we, from Twitch? Welcome, Twitch comers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet.
10,000 feet, and lights off.
Electronic devices. This is also a reminder to use your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight. Do not form a line near the left.
How are you all doing, Twitch comers? Thank you. Red Advents, Party 2. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Small speed for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight communication to our partners.
So far so good. We've just had a rejected takeoff, but we are in the air now, and it should be relatively safe the rest of the way. No turbulence now, so we can turn off the seatbelt sign. And yeah, clear now to continue our cruise.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten
So how are you doing, man? That's what,
You can now get
3
access
streams in a
without
week
hazard.
now?
However, we ask that you use your
Where's the
seatbelt
original
fasten if unexpected
Red Advent gone? One that you could barely get a stream in a week. Now, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. After the RLR tomorrow, should be quite a good one. I've reduced the climb to 2,500, speed up to Mach 0.6. The HUD you can turn on by going to the menu, right clicking and toggling HUD. The voice is automatic. You can either use the pre-recorded voice or you can record your own messages. Speaking of which, now that we're in the air, probably a good time to say hello again. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. A message from the flight deck. We have now departed. Again, apologies for the slight delay there out of Birmingham, but we have now departed. And the weather ahead of us looking nice and smooth for the rest of the trip. Once again, I do apologise for the rejected takeoff there. It does happen from time to time, and ultimately it's your safety that matters to us when we take these into account. Landing at Innsbruck should be rather smooth, so we shall be proceeding with that. Otherwise, yeah, again, apologies for that, and we hope you enjoy the race of Live Austrian today. Oh yeah, the clouds in this are fantastic, really detailed throughout it. The weather engine in Microsoft Flight Sim truly is amazing. I don't see the squares that you can see, Madman. No, the clouds in the sim, they are phenomenal. Genuinely cannot fault them. Speaking of which, I continue to grab a screenshot. I can check with my thumbnail later, don't I? Because the thumbnail I've got was a slight cheat. No, I'm not using the A320neo on another aircraft entirely. Yeah, the icing in Microsoft Flight Sim is a little bit overdone, but for the most part, as long as your anti-ice is active, it's not too bad. No, it's crazy PC. Microsoft Flight Sim in the spec isn't particularly major. I mean, you need a relatively modern spec, but not the highest. You need a modern spec, not the highest spec, if you know what I mean. You can get away with a rather old card if you're running it more than everything else. I believe it's the 945, the 970 is the minimum requirements. Microsoft used to do train sim. Can't forget good old Microsoft Train Simulator. But we'll see. We'll see what other projects that Microsoft have up their sleeves for simulation. I mean, with Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's a flight sim for people to use, but ultimately it's a tech demo for Azure AI to show how it can generate the entire world out of its own artificial intelligence. They built the whole world and basically stuck a flight simulator on top of it because that was an EP that they own, and therefore thought they might as well renew it. And overall, it does look fantastic. I can't deny that. Yes, the Cambrian route. I do actually have this copy of the Microsoft Train Sim on my shelf somewhere. Where is it? It is... That's it. There it is. It's between Armour 2 and some World War II fighter game. Oh no, might install it at some point. I've got a copy of the Railworks, or one of the other train sims I've got. I've got a copy of one of the former train sims that is now Train Sim 2020. I think it may be Railworks 2. Oh no, it's Rail Simulator, that's it. EA Rail Simulator back when Kuji were at the helm. So even before Railworks, wow. And yet still features the Great Western. You're late coming in, but the flight's going to come early. Don't think so, Victor. We are about 10 minutes delayed because of the rejected takeoff initially. While we're here, how are the brakes doing right now? Have they cooled down? Yeah, so you can see the brakes now in green, and therefore it means that the brakes now cooled, and therefore safe to use. Still at 200 degrees centigrade, so it's still boiling down there, but not looking too bad. The wind's not great for us, Victor. It's more of it's a cross headwind at the moment, 60 degrees, or 60 nautical mile winds. But we do make a left-hand turn at Charlie Papa Tango. That might give us a bit of a boost there. We'll see. Reduce climb to 1,000 feet per minute. We'll hold the aircraft at Mach 0.8. So we're doing Seattle Frankfurt or Amsterdam without the A330. I mean, the A330 will come. I believe Aerosoft will do one. They haven't announced it, but it's one of the things that... It's like PMDG. Everybody knows they're going to do a 737 even before they've announced it. Well, now they're going to do it. For example, they've also announced they're going to do 777-747 eventually, as well as their DC-6 Cloudmaster. That's also on their list of products they want to do. But it's like, there's some developers out there that they might not have said anything, but we know they're going to do it. Nope, no ice today, and the ice is working as it should do. Got a left-hand turn coming up now. .93% satisfaction. It looks like our passengers shouldn't mind too much the slight delay there on our departure. Reject takeoffs aren't fun, but at the end of the day, like I said in the announcement earlier, health and safety of passengers is key in these kind of things. And so, as long as we're operating safely, passengers will certainly understand, because, I mean, even some of the guys in the chat were like, that takeoff run did not look right from the get-go. Even doing it was like, no, I'm not liking how this is going. And yes, at the end of the day, rejected takeoff was the safest option. We didn't quite hit V1, but we were definitely close to it. The patented Drawyah mid-air refueling. I don't do that anymore. Now that the sim or the mods or the Nexus mod fixes corrects the fuel flow, it has solved those issues. In regards to other rejected takeoffs, the other one that I can remember was when I flew to... When I did the New Zealand flight, I did 2 legs, 3 airports. The first one, I forgot to set the performance page, and that performance, I had no flex, and therefore decided that it was just easier to reject takeoff, set it up, go around again. This one was more of a health hazard rather than just aircraft configuration. In terms of positioning, we're about to cross over London, in fact. Ooh, is it safe to turn off the clouds momentarily? Will this cause the aircraft to go crazy with turbulence? We're about to fly over London. I'll get some rather cool scenes in that. There's Heathrow. We'll see. Closer gets to London, might consider hiding the clouds for a bit. Although there's actually a gap ahead of us anyway that we might be able to explore. Stock weather. We're using stock weather. I've seen reviews for Rex. I don't own it, but it's yeah. From what I've seen with Rex and from reviews I've seen, it's not all that great. At the end of the day, Hi-Fi Tech, the guys behind Active Sky, they are the kings of weather simulation. But even then, default weather like this, you don't need a weather mod. This is great. Ooh, very nice there, right lands up. So flex temp, sorry David, limits the throttle output. So it degrates the throttle, basically stops the aircraft from putting in too much power, and therefore minimises engine wear during takeoff. Because we could just stick it in toga and go full throttle out, but at the end of the day, all that does is it wears the engines even further, potentially causes them to, well, means that you have to replace them much more frequently. So, flex temp, it derakes the throttles, and therefore produces slightly less power outputs than full throttle, but also give you the speeds to depart. Oh, so we actually get to see some London. Let's, turn off the weather momentarily. A little bit of turbulence in place, but there we go. Directly below us, London Heathrow Airport. Meant to have Northolt visible just there. We've got Denham Aerodrome somewhere over here. I can't quite see it, but somewhere over there is going to be Denham. London City Airports. There's Wembley Stadium. Welcome Captain Shakir, how are you doing? Welcome to the chats. Yeah, TextB76, I do enjoy his stuff. He's a great charmer. I do enjoy his I enjoy watching what he does. the way he controls the audience, the way he captivates the people watching, it's fantastic stuff. That, as a streamer, top notch. Very much enjoy his work. At some point, needs to learn the secrets of what's it called? Of Nightspot meta off of him. Am I forgetting the Airbus slide stick? No, I'm not. Unless I got offered it, I use the Thrustmaster Hostess Warthog stick and throttle, which is the pinnacle of home POTAS systems. Not cheap, but full metal build, very weighty, very heavy, just feels fantastic. Check your email again, Paul, because it doesn't look like they've delayed the orders Amazon, they've outright cancelled them. There's been a bit of a huss recently about the way that Amazon dealt with it. They haven't just delayed it, they have scrapped all of them. Oops, a little bit of turbulence again. As soon as we get cruise of flight level 360, things should cool off quite nicely. Let's go try and get you a tracking link, shall we? Zoom into London, there's our aircraft. So if you want to track me on WebEye, that there is a link. So WebEye is basically the it's the Flight Radar 24 of flight simulation, and so you can use that link to track my aircraft's positioning, routing, and all of that. Also, the rejected takeoff if you zoom into the map as well. You can see, starts at the gate, taxied out, cancel, go around, back on again. It's a very good tool, this. Very handy indeed. Skipping class? No, Arnav. Don't skip class ever. Never. The longest flights I've ever done. Longest flights in Flight Simulator or longest flights in real life? So I've got two very different answers for those. Longest flights in real life is 4 hours and 20 minutes. That was the flights from London Luton to Athens. Through that last May with Ryanair. I should have done a flights to New York. I should have made that 6 hours from London to New York and back. Also supposed to land the 747. Because of COVID, the flights to America were cancelled, and the 747 now been retired, so I do miss out on that. So instead of a 6.5 hour flight, I'm going to have to do a 4.5 hour flight. The longest in Flight Sim, back when I was using X-Plane 11, was a flight from London Heathrow to Melbourne. So QF10 starts at Heathrow, flew to Perth. That was 18 hours in length. Did a 30-minute turnaround at Perth, and then flew for a further 3 hours to Melbourne. So in total, including stopover, 22.5 hours in total. So yes, if you're not counting stopover, 18 hours. If you count stopover, 22.5. And that was a charity live stream raising money for the Red Cross supporting COVID-19. And a lot of people tell me to do that flight again in Microsoft Flight Sim, so we'll see. If we have to go through the lockdown or something like that again, we'll see. We'll see what my weekend plans are like. Yeah, 747 did one more flight. It was unexpected, admittedly, but it was a flight from Cardiff to Dunsfold, where the aircraft will now be used as a movie set. So now at 37,000 feet. Very much cruising on the clouds right now. Hopefully things won't be too bad as close as we get to Austria. Because like I said, the weather I'm expecting over there is not particularly calm right now. And so it's just really a case of getting the aircraft to Innsbruck, start descent, and then manage the hand-flying approach down the Alps. In fact, before I forget, might as well turn the terrain radar on now. Yes, Ben, if you need to pause download for Microsoft Flight Sim, it will continue where it left off last time. You don't have to, Paul, you can install the sim to any driver you want to. You can set that within the menu. Yes, we have lost Dunsfolds, the Top Gear test track. So a small portion of it will be left for aviation requirements, such as for example movie sets, but the main part of the airport will now be lost. How many times have you flown transatlantic in Flight Sim, and what routes have you done in your favourites? I have done it 3 times. If I recall correctly. Did that. Yeah, 3 times. Well, 3.5. Actually, 4. We'll make it 4.5. So the first one was back when I was still playing FSX, flew the Concorde, the altitude Concorde, across the pond. The second one was flying in the Drawyah DO228. Now that was done in steps, so we started out in England, we flew to Scotland, while the Orkney Islands flew to Greenland, flew to Iceland, then Greenland, cross Greenland, through Canada, and then to the US. So that was transatlantic, but done in about 20 legs. Then we get to the half attempt, which was the Boeing 747 next plane. The aircraft has some weird issue with the fuel pumps, and therefore, despite the fact the aircraft was pretty much half full, the engines cut off, and we didn't quite make it to New York that time, so we don't talk about that attempt. Yeah. After that, we then did X-Plane again, this time in the Magnite 787, flew from London Gatwick to New York. That was done in Norwegian Airlines colours. And then the final attempt, most recent attempts, was in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's flying the 747 from London Heathrow to New York. So I've only done London to New York in terms of routing, but yeah, I'd say. Actually, the stopping service, the one we took multiple legs, that was a bit more free as to where we flew, but yeah, I enjoy them. They're a long flight, but when you're live streaming, generally not bad in terms of answering questions and all that. Oh yeah, my 6060 works absolutely fantastic for this. Never had a complaint with it. Didn't even need a 3080 to be fair. Although it is on order, we'll wait for it to get here eventually. 17 weeks by the looks of things. Did the calculation, it's about 17 weeks until it gets here, if they're still doing about 30 a week. Seattle, San Fran, or Gloucester? Lima? We'll see. The A320 will not reach JFK to London. Doesn't nearly have the range. The closest you got is an A318, which doesn't exist for any flight sim, and even that had to do a stop over in Shannon to refuel. So we're just about to reach our next waypoint, Cock. From Cock we fly to Dick, and then from Dick we fly to Innsbruck. Well, no planes. When regards to London City airports, none, because the 787 and 747 too big to land at London City, and therefore they can't land there. But they both have the range from London to New York. The A320 doesn't have the range, and to be fair, the A320 itself also too big to land at a city. You can get an A319 in there, but not a 20. So far so good. If you must, Ellie. Whether or not you get an answer, we'll see. No flight, we're using IVAO today. Well, there are no plans, as I'm aware yet, for 777X, but we shall see. Yes, I believe there is an unlimited fuel setting via the realism settings. So if you switch it from realistic fuel burn to basically super easy mode, then you get unlimited fuel burn. So burn as much as you want, fly as far as you want. I see my satisfaction up to 98% again, which is again very good to see. Means that passengers now no longer have any gripes in regards to the takeoff there. Can you estimate how many people you've killed in flying on sims? Hang on, I'll keep the rug there a little bit. Seconds to stabilise. Bit of attitude turbulence there. The aircraft has now stabilised. So, people I've killed. Let's tally, shall we? Because most of these crashes, I guess, come from the day before PACX, so therefore numbers are going to be estimates. Let's put the notepad out. Let's have a look. So my first, well, let's go from most recent to first. So the most recent was the 747 flights, which was, let's say, 280 people. Actually, no, it's more like 320 people on that. The next flight sim crash I can think of that I've done was a DC-10 flight into Frankfurt. This was about 5 years ago now, so way back early in my flight simming days. On that occasion, came in too slow and stored the aircraft in the short final. That stream is private. I have deleted it, but that stream is private. That would say 280 people. Another one, that was a few weeks before that, again in the DC-10, that was flights into somewhere in America. Again, stored, actually, I made it to the runway, but the touchdown was bad, and the aircraft crashed on landing, so say 270 for that. Any other sim streams that ended in disaster? The fact is, I don't have many. I don't have many streams that go badly. Let's go back to my streaming history, shall we? Sort by visibility, unlisted or private. I think would be the easiest way to do it. Ah, that was a really bad stream because people chatting. Okay, we'll count that one. My very first flight in the PNG 737, so we'll say 170 for that. It was an SAS flight from Stockholm to Oslo. This was my very first stream in the A737. Forgot to turn on PACX, the aircraft depressurised. Actually, that was using FF passengers, wasn't it? So I can give you an exact number of people on board it. How many people on that aeroplane? I'm sure FF passengers says that. It was part of the in-flight reports. Plus, go back. 12 plus 148, so that is 160 on that. Glitching, how so, Nixter? Alicante, actually Nuremberg. That was a sim crash. Alicante, that was a sim crash. Yeah, I think that covers it. So in total, thanks to my awesome flying skills, oh gosh, I've even got the X11 attempt on here saved. Maybe one day I'll release these for the sake of hilarity. Right, in total I have killed about 1,030 people in all my years of flight simming. Yeah, not a number to be proud of. I mean, these days when it comes to flying, I'm so much better. But there was an early day where even I was at some people where you guys are now in regards to first flight sim, learning the basics and all that. And so yeah. The more you practice, the less people you kill. I mean, I'm sure that number's higher, but those are the 4 major ones that I can recall. So grasping the skill of understanding flight plans. Flight plans even took me a little while to learn. But again, the more you practice, the more you get there. Ultimately, the better it gets for you flying. Ah, welcome Jared, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, to the chats. Missed much. You've missed a rejected takeoff. So quite an eventful start, to say the least. But yeah, not so bad so far. Public cruise, nice and safe. Passengers all enjoying themselves. About an hour or so now to get to Innsbruck, so still got plenty of cruising time left. I might as well start programming the approach in, so it'll be runway 26 today. We'll do a localizer approach. Yes, thank you, the intensified. Right timing there, right? Right, well, at this time, coming up to 9:45, I'm not sure if I'll have the time to do another flight. Train seems safer, of course. Okay, what's the plan? We can try again this on Sunday. I'll check the schedule, and if everything works out, we'll do this flight again on Sunday. But this up's fine. I mean, half of this is flight notes from previous flights. Got there you go, London Tegel, That one is flight to Honolulu. Most of these are just flight notes and routings and all that. So, no, you are right. Before I should go back and delete half of these old messages, shouldn't I? There's the Birmingham one from today. There's the Hong Kong flights. Couple of photos, the A320neo downloader. A few videos and all that. Oh, that's a bit cleaner, but not too bad. Okay, on the spot group flights. Not today. On Sunday, we'll do group flights. So stick around for that. What crash? I'm not too sure. The last thing I did was updates the MCDU. That's tuned down to the memory clock, so let me tune that back by 10. As 9 times out of 10, if you're doing something in regards to calculation, it's the memory clock that's causing the problem. So you can't bring that back by 10, and we'll see how things go from there. Right, well, sorry about that, guys. Tomorrow morning, we'll do a stream again. Tomorrow's morning stream, we'll do it in Australia. I think's the plan. Tomorrow evening, I plan to fly something a little bit different. It'll be 747 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but not a 748. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Sunday morning, we'll then do this flight again from Birmingham to Innsbruck, so try and get up for that. Sunday evening, we'll do our next group flights, so yeah, stick around for that. Those apologies for the abrupt end, and yeah, we'll try again later. You take care. Have a good one. Have a good night. Or in your case, Nick, 5 AM. Have a good morning.